On the 31st of January this year, in anticipation of a state election, PeakCare hosted a roundtable meeting with our member agencies, special interest groups and other individuals. We wanted a roundtable discussion to consult with you about those matters that were of particular interest to you and of concern that we wanted to raise with the political parties during their election campaigning. On the 14th of February, in partnership with the Workforce Council, we hosted a workshop to specifically look at workforce issues affecting the child protection sector. Informed by the discussions that occurred in both of those forums, PeakCare produced 10 position papers that we lodged with each of the political parties. Since that time, we have produced special editions of our e-news to highlight to you policy announcements as they occurred. It's now time for us to sit back and listen to the politicians themselves do some of the talking and make some of their own commentary about those policies and what they see as critical issues facing child protection now and into the future. Very kindly, Minister Phil Reeves, the Minister for Child Safety, and the Labor Party representative, and also Shadow Minister Tracy Davis from the LNP, both agreed to have PeakCare put to them 6 critical questions. And they both agreed that we would video their responses and play those responses to you. So over oncoming days, we will be releasing those videos. Here are some of the key questions that we put to both Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis. The first question that we asked of both Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis was along these lines. If elected to government, what would be your priorities and plans for your first 100 days in office? And how do you see those first 100 days as positioning your government to address what you see as the most critical issues facing child protection? And how would you see that as positioning you to bring about your longer term vision for the future? All governments across Australia seem to be wrestling with ways in which they can reshape the child protection system. In particular, they're looking at ways of reducing the over-reliance on the tertiary end of this system. That means the introduction of better family support services to reduce the demand for out-of-home care services for children. It also means better work with families so that children can be reunified safely with their families much sooner than currently occurs. We put the question to both Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis about ways in which they want to tackle this issue. A key to it seems to be better work with families. We also asked the Minister and Shadow Minister about ways in which their policies would better assist Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families and also families who have a culturally and linguistically diverse background. Whilst there are some things that could be done to support families in caring for their children, there will unfortunately always be the need for some children and young people to be living outside of their family, at least for a period of time. We asked Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis about the range and mix of services, out-of-home care services, that they think we need to be developing. The child protection system often seems to be geared chiefly towards meeting the needs of young children. Older children, young people in their teenage years, are of course also vulnerable to harm, especially those who may be homeless or living rough, those who are acting out the trauma of earlier abuse or sexual exploitation, and those who experience multiple placements during their time in care, and for whom the child protection system quite simply has failed. Many of these younger people, either prior to or following their exit from the child protection system, find themselves involved with other very expensive service systems, such as youth justice or adult correctional services, mental health and/or alcohol and drug treatment programs. We asked Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis about ways they might bring about a better coordinated response to assist these young people, and in particular, assist young people in their very difficult transitions to adulthood. The child protection system is not working well for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families. We asked Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis what they intend to do about this. Child protection is very much a people business. How well we provide child protection services is very dependent on having a workforce within both the government and non-government sectors that has the right mix of qualifications, personal attributes, training, skills and experience needed to perform their very complex and demanding roles. We asked Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis about their plans to make sure we have the right mix of people to work with the most vulnerable children, young people and families in our state. On behalf of PeakCare and our member agencies, I would sincerely like to thank both Minister Reeves and Shadow Minister Davis for making the time to respond to our critical questions. I would also like to thank their advisors for their cooperation in assisting us to put together these videos. I trust that over oncoming days, as you view these responses, that you'll find them highly informative.